Hello again. It's time for Tiger Talk. And boy, what a program we have today. Fort Hays State, big road win at Pittsburg State on Saturday. Their fourth win in a row. On the road again this week at Washburn. We'll talk all about it with Coach Chris Brown right after this. Hello again, everyone, and welcome into Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock with you as we talk Fort Hays State football. We'll be joined by Chris Brown coming up here shortly, and should be a fun program as we recap a big win in Pittsburgh Saturday. Homecoming for the Gorillas and the Tiger offense. Boy, did they come to life. 54 points and a 54-41 win. Fourth straight victory for the Tigers to move them to 5-1 and tied for second with Emporia State, one game back in Northwest Missouri State in the MIAA standings. Now the Tigers gear up for another big road test in Topeka against a 4-2 Washburn team this Saturday. And we'll talk all about that when we return. Tiger Talk brought to you once again by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, 3505 Vine and Hayes, the taste that brings you back, and by Mocha's Coffee, Pastry, and Bistro at 27th and Indian Trail in Hayes. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk some football as head coach Chris Brown will join us. This is Tiger Talk.
Around here, we believe in local values like hard work, family time, or a fair price on reliable internet from a local company. That's why Eagle Communications delivers great local values, like a range of internet options to fit your family's needs. Fast and consistent enough to power everyone's devices at once. All at reasonable prices we're proud to offer our friends and neighbors. Ready for better internet? Give us a call or visit eaglecom.net and discover our local values today.
Hello again and welcome to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock joined by head coach Chris Brown. Program brought to you by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. Experience the delicious cook-to-order food. The rich and creamy frozen custard churned fresh throughout the day. All at Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. North Vine and Hayes. It's the taste that brings you back. Fort Hays State, a big win Saturday, 54-41 at Pittsburgh State. The Tigers' fourth in a row and now 5-1. And Coach, I think your team was confident they could win, but I don't think there are too many people before the game expected that. 54 points, a shootout. Of course, 2 years ago you won there 7-6. This was the exact opposite, completely different game, but guess the same result, and that's the best thing. It
is. You know, we always need to get a win somehow and find a way to get a win. The 2 years ago there, 7-6. The year before that, it was a 6-point game and, pretty low-scoring game, but this one was a shootout. Defensively, we didn't play real well. There were situations there where we need to get ourselves off the field, and we had one guy either miss a tackle or, not do his assignment. They get the first down and continue the drive and keep it alive. But, I was really proud of our offense being able to put that many points on the board. It was good to see them come out and do those type of things that they did, this week. And hopefully they can continue off of that and build off of that and get better. But, now we just need to be able to establish that run game, which I didn't think we really did that well in this game. But our passing game was there, and I thought Jake did a great job of spreading the ball around.
It was a type of game you can almost sense it from the beginning. You got the drive and you went down, had to kick a field goal, they came back, but you just kind of feel, and it's strange how there are days like that, but you could tell there were going to be some points scored in this game. And you're hoping your offense would be able to match the task because Pitt has a very good offense in their own right, and obviously they were.
They do. Their offense is very, very, difficult to defend, especially with Roderick back there running their offense. He's got a great arm. Great with his play action, great with his run reads, and faking the throw off of it, and it just kind of keeps your guys off balance defensively, and gave us quite a few fits. But really proud of our offense. They really carried us through the whole day. Keeping points on the board, keeping the pressure on them, and getting us up at 21 at one point, and players kind of relax, but as a coaching staff, you don't, because it's not over till it's over.
Yeah, it certainly was the case, and it went down to the very end. You mentioned Jacob Mazzara set a new school single-game total offense record with 508 yards, threw for 5 touchdowns, ran for another, and I thought showed great poise in the pocket, took some hits, but still delivered the ball. Just continues to get better week after week.
Yeah, he did an awesome job. He is our offensive player of the week this week just because of the things he did, but he really showed his maturity, you know, as the year goes on, getting better as a quarterback. But you know, he was sitting there taking a few shots here and there, but also getting himself out of some trouble, you know, buying some time on, you know, during each play, and then when it was time to scramble, he scrambled. But you know, he's matured into being a very, very good quarterback, and hopefully this is just the start of where he's going to be by the time his career's over.
Yeah, legend rushing with over 60 yards and had that big touchdown run. And you kind of touched on it, 9 different players caught passes. Charles Tigner, 2 more touchdown catches, and I think we've dubbed him on the radio side Charles Tigner the playmaker, and he was again. He just has a knack for getting the ball and making big plays happen.
He does, you know, he just finds a way to get open. He's hard to bring down in the open field. You know, a lot of times, it's him and one other guy, and the guy has to make the play, but he'd break the tackle or carry the guy for another 10 yards, but the kid's really starting to understand the receiving position. The good thing about him is we can also put him at tailback, and there's so many different things that we can do with him, and he's just getting better each week, getting more confidence each week, and you know, it's good to see that out of him because, you know, we still get him for 3 more years after this.
And, you know, we talked last week, one of the keys to the game was going to be turnovers. It is every week, but you look at how Pittsburg State has played this year, very opportunistic on defense, a lot of points off interceptions, pick sixes, the special teams play. And while they had a pretty good special teams day, you didn't turn it over. You forced 3 turnovers. I thought that was a big key.
It's huge, you know, and we always talk about winning the turnover battle and not turning the ball over on offense. And, you know, we've done a great job of that. Knock on wood, it continues to do those things. But, you know, Jake does a good job of not really putting the ball in a bad spot where somebody else can get it or making a bad throw or trying to force something, you know, and our backs doing a good job with ball security as well. And, you know, really proud of the way our guys are taking care of the ball offensively, but defensively, you know, we're really attacking it, getting some picks and getting some interceptions. We probably should have had 2 or 3 more picks, but, you know, Shadid, don't even have them, but Shadid knocked it right out of there, and that would have been the end of the game. But then Doom was coming up with 2 big ones, you know, there towards the end of the game.
And another key factor, your receivers caught the ball. Some difficult places to catch it. They held on to it. Pitt State had a few. Could have been caught. They didn't hold on to it at key points in the ball game.
They are. You know, our receivers do a good job. Coach McCray does a good job with our receivers every day in practice, after practice, before practice of, you know, ball skill drills and, you know, catching the ball, looking it in, tucking it, and, you know, it shows in the games when it's time to make a play, they make the play. And then, yeah, Pitt did drop a few balls, but there's also a few of them in there that if we're in the right spot, you know, we end that drive, and who knows what could have happened if we would have been where we were supposed to be.
Now the Tigers get the win, 54-41 over Pittsburg State. We'll talk more detail about the game when we come back right here on Tiger Talk.
The year 1948, we said goodbye to the Babe. Truman upset Dewey, and KAYS AM signs on the air. Flash forward to 2016. This year we said goodbye to Prince. We find out if it will be Hillary or Trump, and KAYS FM signs on the air. 1400 AM KAYS, now also on 94.3 FM. It's Hayes' greatest hits. KAYS, sounding great since 1948.
And welcome back to Tiger Talk, presented by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro. You can start your day off right with a nice hot cup of coffee and one of their many breakfast items. Of course, they've got sandwiches for lunch as well as throughout the day, and of course, many of the great drinks as well. So something for all times of the day at Mocha's Coffee, Bakery, and Bistro. They're at 27th and Indian Trail. Of course, use their convenient drive-through next time you're stopping by at Mocha's. Tigers at Pittsburg State Saturday. Homecoming for the Gorillas. Over 10,000 were there, and you got the football first and really kind of set the tone. Drove 79 yards, got it to the 1. The drive stalled. That was probably the only disappointing part. Had to settle for the field goal, but the offense kind of established themselves in the very first possession.
They did, you know, and there's a situation, there's fourth and goal from the 1. I almost went for it, but, you know, I was like, we got to get points on the board somehow, and, you know, Brandon does a good job of getting points for us, but it was good to see him drive down the field, you know, punch it in early or get those points early in the game, and, I mean, it just gave them some confidence of, hey, we're here, we're ready to play, and let's go make things happen.
Big plays were the theme of the game on Saturday, and unfortunately, you guys gave one up on their very next drive, a 3rd down and 5, and they get the 39-yard strike to Panko to take the lead.
Yeah, and that's something we got to eliminate. I mean, it seems like we're right there, we're always doing things right, and get ourselves in good positions, but now we just got to go finish and make the play. And, you know, we're there, we're in good position, we're just not finishing plays, and that's something our kids have got to learn here these next few weeks, or just starting this week, because, it's going to cost us here down the road if we don't start making the plays when we need to.
I thought maybe the turning point, you get the ball back down 7-3. They force you to punt one of the few times in the game. They get it up 4, and you could kind of sense some momentum. Cito gets in there, gets a strip sack, forces the turnover. Luke Wright picks it up. You get the stop, and you come right back in the next play, hit Tigner for the big touchdown pass. Huge swings. If they go in and score, who knows what happens in that game?
It is, isn't it? If that's a huge play in the game, and they go down because they're driving the ball, have a lot of momentum going, and we needed something to happen. And they go down to score there. Who knows how this game ends up? And because they got a lot of confidence if they do. But see, coming off the edge, did a great job getting pressure on the quarterback, stripped it out. Good job by Luke. Securing the fumble and getting back to our offense, and then Jake and Tigner hooking up again, and then getting that touchdown. I mean, that just kind of set the tone and gave us a lot of confidence, throughout the game.
Got the lead back, then exchange scores. In fact, they have a remarkable catch by their running back on a screen pass. Michael Rose made a great one-handed grab and got into the end zone. But then you come back, and Kenneth Iheem did the same thing in traffic on a middle screen, somehow broke a couple of tackles and forced it into the end zone to answer their score.
Yeah, it was 2 crazy plays. If we just do our assignment, on their touchdown, we're man-to-man in that situation. We see the back flare, get downhill and attack him now. We probably stop that play then. The one with Jake, I don't know how he sees Iheem. I mean, it was a mess. There was a lot of people around. Somehow he got it to him. Somehow Iheem caught the ball and scampered in for that 15-yard touchdown. But, he got hit at like the 4 and still flew into the end zone. I thought Bacon was done after that because he got hit pretty hard too. But huge play. I mean, those are big plays that need to be made in those situations. And, I always tell our guys, we're looking for some guys to step up and make some plays and make some things happen for our team. And, guys are starting to do that now.
They drive to the 10, but you get a stop. You force them to a field goal. That was another key point. Instead of maybe trailing again, it was a 17 all tie by holding them to 3.
It is, and that's huge. You can't let them in the end zone. I mean, you give them back the momentum if they score a touchdown, but it kind of kept it even at that point. And, giving hats off to our defense in that situation, just giving up a field goal.
And the defense, and I know you weren't happy giving up the 41 points, but from that point, they had a stretch where they gained some traction. Punt, field goal, punt, and your offense kept going. That was kind of a swing point. The end of the third, or end of the second, first part of the third quarter, the defense got a few stops, and you were able to take advantage.
Yeah, and that's huge. Our offense just kept rolling because we've always, last 4 or 5 weeks, we always had kind of a lull between the second and third quarter, and offensively, we didn't have that this week. Jake kept finding the receivers, had a little bit of our run game going as well, but they continued to roll and put points on the board, and that's huge when in games like this.
I'm going to ask you, late in the first, you opt to go for it on 4th down at their 39. Didn't work out for you, and then they come back and get a field goal to cut it to 4 at halftime. Hoping at that point that didn't come back to be a costly decision, but just go through your process of going for it on 4th down there.
I just want to get up, we were up, 7 points at that point. I want to try to get up another, touchdown, before the half because I knew they had the ball, coming back out at halftime. So if we can get up another 7, if they did come out after halftime and score, we're still up 7 points. But, it didn't work out for us. They brought a guy off the edge that we didn't account for, made the tackle in the backfield, and now it's up to our defense. You got to keep them out of the end zone and, force them to kick a field goal or force them to punt and end up kicking the field goal, which is a lot better than a touchdown.
Yeah, no doubt about that. 24-20, Tigers led it at halftime. We're going to take a quick break. We'll talk about the second half next. This is Tiger Talk.
That was another legend on 99 KZ Country. And yes, before that, we had a brand new artist. Your home for today's stars and the legends. We play real country. I'm Teresa Trapp. Weather, news, sports, it's all here. We're on Facebook, and there is a listen live link at hayespost.com. Dial us in on your radio at 99.5 FM. KHAZ, Real Country. 99 KZ Country.
And welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Wellbrock, head coach Chris Brown, brought to you again by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, where they're celebrating a classic steakhouse favorite, the A1 Chop House Steak Burger. 2 sizzling patties, topped with grilled onions, sauteed mushrooms, white cheddar cheese, and a zesty A1 garlic sauce on a home-style bun. It sounds great. It is great. It's only at Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, North Vine and Hayes, the taste that brings you back. Tigers up 24-20 at halftime against Pittsburgh State Saturday. You mentioned the Gorillas getting the ball to start the third quarter, and a huge stop by your defense. Gave up a first down, but then forced a punt. That was big because you got the ball back with the lead.
We do. That's a situation where we have to stop them. We cannot let them go down and score. We can't let them change field position and all those different things. And our defense did a great job of stepping up to the plate, making things happen, getting that, having them punt the ball back to our offense and giving our offense a chance to go score because, our offense was rolling pretty well there and doing some great things. We had a great offensive scheme and, they executed it very, very well.
And then you get the ball back and put together maybe one of the best drives of the game, 12 plays, 65 yards, and Kenneth Iheme with his second touchdown catch of the day to cap it off for 7.
It is, it's just something that we saw with them. They didn't have an answer for it, and so we continue to go back to that play. Iheme had to cut one off of it. I think Shaq had one or 2 or 3 catches off of it as well, and they just didn't have an answer for us. So we continued to run that play, and it worked out for us. But our offensive coaches did a great job of finding plays that fit our system and things our kids could do to put points on the board.
Iheme got a lot of the carries and a lot of the bulk of the action in the fourth quarter. No, Shaq looked like he was starting to cramp up, and of course Malik Thomas went down again as well. So a little bit thinner at running back in this game, and Mo Kenneth really stepped up.
He has. He's done a great job. Since he's been here. He's early in his career he had a couple injuries. Had a shoulder problem, had an ankle problem, but now he's really strengthened those things up and has become a great weapon for us. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. When he's running the ball, he's hard to see, and if you just give him a little bit of a hole, he's going to gain 4 or 5 yards. But yeah, I love that kid. I love the way he plays the game, and he plays it hard and he plays it physical. And as long as he keeps doing those things, he's going to be on the field a lot for us.
Defense got another stop, came back, hit Cooper on a 24-yard TD pass to push the lead to 18, and that's kind of that little stretch there. You got some traction and got a multiple possession lead, and that was always a little more comforting.
It is, but I played at Pitt. I understand Pitt. I know how things work. When I was playing there, we always came back and we would be down 21, 18 points, and we'd come back and win a ball game. So any team can do that. So you just got to be prepared. You got to make sure your kids don't relax too much and keep making plays to make things happen. But of course we do. We let up and let the running back scamper for 80 yards, and they go score and get it back in within 13 or 14 points. So. We got to do a better job defensively in that situation too, of getting a stop and getting the ball back to our offense.
Yeah, and it was unfortunate because they were pinned deep inside the 10-yard line due to a penalty on a kick return, and so you felt, man, you had a chance to maybe put the game away, and it looked like you had that run fairly well covered. Rose stayed in bounds, and then next thing you know, there was nobody in front of him, and he was able to go 84 yards to get him right back in it.
And there is, our safety's there, our bandit's supposed to run the alley to go make the play. Corner jumps inside instead of staying outside. If he would have stayed outside, that ball would have to bounce back in, and Doyne's there to make the play. But still in that situation, we got to pin our ears back and go make the play. That's all there is to it. And we didn't. They scored, and now it's a tight ball game again.
But you answered. I thought it was a key. You had an answer every time to come back with a 60-yard, 9-play drive, and Jacob gets his rushing touchdown to go along with the 5 that he threw.
It is. Our offense just kept answering their scores, and as long as we keep doing that, we're going to be successful. But I just can't say enough about our offense and how they performed on Saturday. Just kept answering after answer after answer, putting points on the board, and I never would have thought that game would be that way, but it happened that way, and I'm very proud of the points our offense put up.
And 2 big field goals from Brandon Brown. He leads the conference now with 12 made field goals. He had a 37-yarder after you get an interception, and then a big 49-yarder. Just had enough to get it through to kind of give you enough cushion where after he kicked that one, you felt pretty good.
He did, and he was confident. Anytime we got in that situation or even close to his area, even though it was 5 yards from where he told me, hey, Coach, I got this. I'm going to make this. And you got to have faith in the kid, and you got to trust in the kid, and he's got the strong enough leg to do those things. And he made 3 field goals, I believe, in that fourth quarter to really help us win that ball game. He just needs to continue to what he's doing, and I'm proud of him. But he's a weapon, and we got to keep using him to our advantage.
Tigers get the win, 54-41, their 4th straight, now 5-1, and hit the road once again. Another big test in Topeka against Washburn, and we'll talk about it when we return right after this on Tiger Talk.
Ready to discover something new? The next time you're in your car, tune your radio to 94.3 FM.
It's here!
It's Hayes' greatest hits.
Love it.
On 1400 KAYS and 94.3 FM. Do you believe in love story?
Well, 94.3 FM, KAYS. Go ahead, check us out.
And welcome back. It's our final segment on the program, and it's brought to you by Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, celebrating the return of the Fall Classic, Freddy's Pumpkin Pie Concrete. Fresh and creamy frozen custard blended with a whole slice of rich pumpkin pie, crust and all, topped with whipped cream and sprinkles of cinnamon. It's only at Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, North Vine and Hayes, the taste that brings you back. Fort Hays State in Topeka, taking on Washburn Saturday afternoon. And last time you won in Pittsburgh 2 years ago, played Washburn the next game and had letdown's the right word, but didn't have the best game, and the Ichabod's clipped you, and with so much to play for here the rest of the way, can't afford to let that happen this week.
No, we can't. 2 years ago was very disappointed me into our team, and that's something I've already told them right after the game. All right, hey, we won this game 2 years ago, went to Washburn and lost. So, every game's a playoff game. We got to get refocused and lock into the task at hand, and we can't have any letdowns. We got to go find a way to win this ball game because they're a very good ball club, and they got some big guys up front on the offensive line and defensive line. Some very skilled receivers, some very skilled defensive backs. Their linebacking core is very, very good. The quarterback's very good, and it's going to be a battle. And they're going to try to hit us in the mouth and play a physical ball game, and we just got to be more physical than they are, and make plays when our name's called.
They're second in the conference in interceptions. They had 6 against Missouri Southern Saturday in their win. Again, another very opportunistic defense you're going to face.
Yeah, they are. They do a good job, and they play a lot of man coverage. They'll play some man with some cover 3 behind it. Man up the corners and things like that. But we just got to prepare our kids this week. They got to get in the film room and study and go through their scouting reports and try to understand exactly what Washburn is trying to do to us. If they'll do those things and have a great week of practice, I think we'll be okay. But it's a very good team that we're facing, and we got to go there ready to battle.
And you mentioned the good receivers, a good quarterback in McGinnis, and they're leading the conference in yards per completion. So they not only throw it well, they usually get pretty big plays out of it.
They do. They'll just get you in situations and throw it deep and run some outs and ups. And our guys have got to be disciplined and try to keep everything in front of them. If they can do those things and eliminate the big play, which we've struggled with the last few weeks, I think we'll be okay. We got to make them earn everything defensively, and then, offensively, we can't turn the ball over and give it back to them because they're explosive enough to make things happen. So we got to find a way to keep their offense off the field and a way to keep our offense on the field, and hopefully we'll win that ball game.
You mentioned trying to establish the running game this week. Did not do that very well against Pittsburgh State. Won't be easy again. They've been very good against the run this year.
They have. Their linebacking core is very good, and their D-line does a great job of establishing a line of scrimmage and not getting any movement, where, our offensive line's got to find a way to get some movement this week and get to the second level, and give our backs a chance, to find a little hole and spurt and try to get vertical. So it's going to be a tough week, and, we're going to be all over them this week about how they prepare and how they work and practice, and we got to find a way to win this ball game. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Well, it becomes a challenge. I mean, it's obviously great when you win, but how you handle that success, and you look at the programs that continually win and get better every time, that they're able to take that win, enjoy it, and move on and focus the same way and prepare properly for the next opponent. And your team has done a pretty good job of that, and they'll get a test this week to see if they can do it again.
Yeah, they will. We just, they got to go watch film and correct our mistakes. We got to get better from last week to this week and correct the things that we messed up on last week and make sure we don't make those same mistakes and let Washburn capitalize on it. So it's going to be a tough battle, but, if we get better and practice hard this weekend and really lock in and focus, I think things will be okay. But they're a good team. It's going to be a tough fight.
Another big one, as it is every Saturday in the MIAA. Coach, we appreciate the time. Again, congratulations on the big win at Pitt State, and we'll see you in Topeka on Saturday.
Thanks, Gerard.
That is head coach Chris Brown of the Tigers. 1 o'clock kick from Yager Stadium. You can hear it on Tiger Radio Mix 103 beginning at noon with the Auto World pregame show. Hey, if you missed any portion of Tiger Talk, of course, you can always catch it online, HaysPost.com, and the video replay on Eagle Cable's channel 14 and 614 Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 10 and 7 o'clock. So you can catch that out as well, and online at HaysPost.com. The program brought to you once again by the Hayes Med Orthopedic Institute, the Taco Shop, G&L Tire and Automotive, Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, Adams, Brown, Barron and Ball, Couture for Men and Women, BTI, as well as Horizon Appliance and Electronics. And of course brought to you by Mocha's Coffee, Bakery and Bistro, 27th and Indian Trail in Hayes, and Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers. They're on North Vine and Hayes. Freddy's, the taste that brings you back. For Coach Chris Brown, this is Gerard Weilbrock. So long, everyone.
We get it. You work hard and play hard. Internet should be the last thing slowing you down. Eagle Communications gives you the speed you need so you can play hard and save cash. For a limited time, get 30 meg for $30 or 50 meg for $50 so you could work, play, and save. Call us at 877-61-EAGLE today.